In this short movie tutorial, we're just going to take a look at how we can straighten skewed horizons in Adobe Photoshop. This movie tutorial accompanies the printed tutorial in this month's magazine, and you'll also find the start image on this month's cover disc. And you'll see I've already opened the start image in Photoshop here. So we can easily see in this particular example that this horizon line falls off very slightly to the left here. We've got less distance between the horizon line at this point and the bottom of the image than we have at this point. And this kind of thing can really mar an otherwise completely successful photograph. Now, to correct this problem, it's really very simple indeed, but there's a couple of little tricks we need to know. To do this, we'll use the measure tool in Photoshop, and you'll find the measure tool nested below the eyedropper tool in the toolbar here. So we need to click and hold on the eyedropper and just select the measure tool from the flyout menu. Now, there are no options with the measure tool at all, so we can simply begin to use it straight away. We want to begin by clicking on the farthest point of the horizon on the left and simply holding down the mouse button and dragging all the way to the other side until we're perfectly on the existing horizon line, and just release the mouse button. So you'll see we've now plotted a measure line on the image. But how do we actually rotate the image to the correct position so we know that the horizon is perfectly level? Again, very simple indeed. Simply go to the image menu and rotate canvas, and from this we want arbitrary. Now you'll see that Photoshop has thrown up a dialog. We want to revolve the picture clockwise to correct the horizon. So we select the clockwise radio button, and you'll see that Photoshop has automatically entered the required degree of rotation to correct the horizon line itself. So we simply click OK on this dialog. Now Photoshop has actually rotated the image to correct the horizon line, which is now perfectly level. But you'll notice as well, because the image has been rotated, we've got some areas of blank canvas around the edges here, and we need to crop those out. For that, we'll use the crop tool, located here in the toolbar. Simply click on that, drag a crop anywhere within the image itself, and then we can simply adjust these handles just so we make sure we actually crop out any of this unwanted blank canvas area. And again on the bottom here, just up a little bit from there, and again on this side, just up to that top corner there, just to crop out that unwanted canvas. Now, to commit that crop, we can either click the commit tick in the options bar, or simply double click inside the crop box. And that's our perfectly level horizon line corrected in just a couple of simple clicks. Now I've reverted to the original file that we started with, so we're back to the wonky horizon line, because I just want to quickly run through another method we can use for correcting this problem, and that is via the new lens correction filter in Adobe Photoshop CS2. We'll find this filter in the filter menu itself and under the distort subcategory, and just scroll down there to lens correction. And you'll see we're presented with this dialog, which actually has a useful grid overlaid on it. And this is simply an alternative method to using the measure tool if you have Photoshop CS2. For this, we want to use the straighten tool within the dialog itself, so we'll click and select that. And again, we begin by clicking on the far left of the horizon line, holding down the mouse button and dragging over to the other side. Now when I release the mouse button, you'll see the difference between this method and using the measure tool is that Photoshop performs the correction automatically. So I release the mouse button now, and Photoshop automatically rotates the image. We can now click OK to exit the lens correction dialog and return to Photoshop itself. Now we're left with the same problem here, that we have some areas of blank canvas because the whole image has been rotated. So again, using the crop tool, just drag a crop to start off with, and then simply adjust the edges of the crop to crop out any unwanted blank canvas areas, and simply double click to commit the crop. So you'll see there's two super fast, super easy methods for correcting any wonky horizon lines.